Hey, what's up, YouTube world? It is your girl again, the Venusian Bull, back with another video in reference to the signs. And tonight, because it is nighttime, we are talking about Cancer. And I just felt like the nighttime was the right time to do a video on Cancer because Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon is out at night, and Cancer loves the nighttime. So do the other water signs, might I add. But so this is the first water sign I'm going to be talking about, and I feel like my water sign videos are going to be very in depth. They make it very emotional. You know what I'm saying? It may have you in your feelings, and I'm trying to talk in a somber voice because I don't want to rattle anybody. But we are going to be talking about the crab today. And I have to say, I'm not sure I thought of a title for this. So, but when it's posted, I will think of a very clever title for all you crabs out there. So, yeah, I want to discuss the general, energy of Cancer. Cancer is Cancer's motto is I feel, feelings. And they, like I said before, they're ruled by the moon. So it has to deal with emotions and intuition. It is the nurturer, it is the mother. It has to deal with the womb and things of that nature for a woman. And it's very keen to like psychic like things. All of the water signs have that kind of psychic ability, strong intuitive nature. But that moon is just very, it's a lot of feelings. You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very strong energy. And we just came off of a full moon in Pisces. So I felt it appropriate to get my Cancer video out the day that the full moon happened. It just seems appropriate, you know. So, and I hope everybody's feeling okay after that full moon because I hope everybody, stay chill. Um, so as far as the songs for Cancer now, I didn't have any trouble finding songs for Cancer because, music is the soundtrack to Cancer's lives. So, we have It's Just Emotions Taking Me Over. I also have I'm on an emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. So basically like any song with like emotions in it or crying or even Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you'll never ever leave. Got me in my feelings. Hey, say you got me in my feelings. And just as a little tidbit, I just want to let y'all know that Drake, I just looked it up, he is a Cancer moon. So a Scorpio, which is his sun sign, would probably not write a song called In My Feelings. A Cancer moon absolutely would. So I just wanted to point that out. Remember, this is Cancer energy, so it could be your sun, your moon, your rising, any of your personal planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, your north or south node, or you can have planets in the fourth house, which is akin to Cancer. Another song I thought of was Must Be a Full Moon, feel like one of those nights. Appropriate because full moon, duh. Anyway, okay, so we're going to get into the nitty gritty of Cancer. So I'm going to try to be nice. No, I'm not really. So maybe Cancer, you need to get, something that is comfortable for you. I know I'm sitting in my own little corner in my own little chair. And I just want to let y'all know that I do have Mars in Cancer. Mars is in the fall in Cancer. Mars is not a happy place for Cancer at all. So I'm going to be able to relate to a lot of what's in here. So just know that I'm not like making fun of y'all. It's just I gotta give the people what they need. So people are looking at these videos, they want to know what's Cancer like. So I gotta let them know. So without any further ado, let's get to it. So Cancer energy is emotional, intuitive, They also have great memories. Like they are excellent at remembering like birthdays and stuff like that of people. And like they're very thoughtful, so they remember birthdays, and they'll like get you something for your birthday and stuff like that. So great memories, and it goes to like the extreme because cancers love telling stories, and they don't like to leave out any details. So they telling you the story about the house party y'all went to when y'all was 16 years old back in 95, and what y'all was wearing and the specific colors and patterns and stuff like that. They're going to get real specific with telling the story, and they might kind of go off the deep end a little bit because, they can kind of be long-winded, but great memory. So it's like they don't forget shit. Just remember that. Don't try to lie to a cancer because they'll remember and they will hold that against you. Cancer is prone to holding grudges. So just know. They're very reflective, constantly reminiscing or reflecting on the past. Reminisce on the love we had. Another Cancer moon. Mary J. Blige is a Cap sun, but she is a Cancer moon, I believe. So yeah, nostalgia. They just love like looking at old photo albums and just looking at like old photos, talking about the past, talking about what it was like growing up when we was kids. What is that song? Back in the day we wasn't loving, not alone anymore, however that song goes. That's like Cancer back in the day, talking about that. They're very subjective. It's all about like they don't really have an objective approach when it comes to like communicating and when they're dealing with others, because they're so like in their own kind of emotional feelings. So they're very subjective. So usually when they say stuff, it's like about being in their own kind of best interest and things of that nature. But they're very nurturing. Like I said, they are the quintessential mothers of the zodiac. Like they are the mamas. You know what I'm saying? So they're natural nurturers, and this could be to children, to family, to a cause, to a project, to anything. Anything could be a Cancer's baby. Just know that. They're usually really good cooks. I would like to say that Cancer, although both Taurus and Cancer are like the food signs of the zodiac, like they love food, they love to cook, and they're foodies. Cancer is like the chef. Cancer takes it to a career spectrum when it comes to cooking. Like they like the connoisseur of the kitchen. Okay. So loves food, loves to eat, loves gatherings that involve food, especially family gatherings. Cancer is all about the family and stuff like that. So family reunions, get-togethers, anything where people can bring food and have a good old time. That's very Cancer. They're very moody. That's self-explanatory. Being very emotional brings on the moodiness. Also very temperamental. It's just very easy for a Cancer to get upset or, to get annoyed. And, they wear their emotions on their sleeve. Even though they can revert into their shell, like you can tell when a Cancer is starting to get in their feelings or get emotional. That other saying, when people are saying, you made me feel some type of way. That's very Cancer because they can't really quite put their finger on the emotion that they're feeling, but they had to say, you made me feel some type of way. A Cancer made that up, I'm quite certain. But they're very loving, like very warm and fuzzy people, just cozy and stuff like that. Warm. They're definitely homebodies. So even if it comes to entertaining, they like to entertain in the home. They take a lot of pride in their home. Their home is their foundation. So they just love being home and cozying up and watching a good movie on Lifetime, something that's going to make them cry. So, but yes, definitely homebodies. And loves to entertain in the home. That's what I mentioned. They're all about their family, very protective of their family, very protective of, their children. Don't, talk bad about their family or their children or whatever. That's when a Cancer will come at you. That's when you go and see that crab snap at you hard. You go in on their family, they're going to be ready to fight. So that's that's something to think about, most definitely. So as I mentioned earlier, all the signs rule different body parts. So the Cancer actually rules the breasts, chest, stomach, the womb, and it also rules the menstrual cycle for women. So some women's cycles are actually in sync with the moon. So it's like the moon cycles every 28 days. That's like the typical menstrual cycle. And I just find that so fascinating how we can just be in tune with the moon like that. So Cancer obviously is a feminine energy, but it does represent women. Their Leos actually represent, men, male energy and stuff like that. And I did mention that Aries is like the quintessential male, but Leos do represent men, at least in a chart, a natal chart. For a woman, it will represent your father, represent your husband, and things of that nature. But Cancer is definitely representative of the female. So Cancer, a lot of people don't know this, but Cancer also deals with nationalities and countries, and usually like your homeland and things like that. So like your nation, like where you come from, like even your race and your creed and culture and things of that nature. Like I mentioned earlier, Cancer is very warm, fuzzy. They're very sensitive. They're very sensitive nature. They're easy to crack. They kind of have this hard shell that they can put up, but they're very easy to crack. So be careful. Sometimes you kind of got to walk on eggshells around Cancer energy. So just be wary of that. They're empaths. They're very empathic. So they're very, sensitive to when other things happen, to other people. That really affects a Cancer because, Cancer is all about what they feel and, how things, make them feel and things like that. So, yeah, things happening to other people maybe that they don't even know. They have a lot of empathy for that. They also are very tenacious. They have a lot of tenacity. So Cancer energy is typically not going to be quitters. Like they're not going to give up. Like they seem very weak, but they're very, very strong inside. If they can kind of get past that emotional part and use that emotions to like fuel their fire, they can accomplish goals. Very persistent, like I said, psychic, like I mentioned earlier. They're very loyal, loyal to a fault. They are definitely loyal to a man. And I will say this: the difference between a Cancer and like a Libra, for instance, when it comes to relationships and keeping a man, both want to keep a man, right? But a Cancer's approach is all emotional. It's like all encompassing. It's like I need that emotional attachment to you and things like that. So that can kind of, if you do a Cancer wrong or you break up with a Cancer or something like that, they're really not going to take that very easily. They might start crying, Cancer, the side of the crier. And it's just like, I cook, I clean, I do all this stuff for you. You don't appreciate me. Cancers are always talking about how they're unappreciated. So yeah, that's Cancer. My little Cancer act, I know it was jacked up. But I mean, Cancers are criers. You just are. It's fine. It's fine. So they love familiarity. You know what I'm saying? They don't really like change very much. They are a cardinal sign. They are an initiator. Um, it's like initiating like emotions and emotional. They're initiators from an emotional standpoint, but they definitely like familiarity, and they start off summer. So that's kind of equates to the whole warm fuzzy quality of Cancer because it's warm in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? So they start off summer. Um, but yeah, they prefer the familiar. And this kind of has to tie into like race and creed and stuff like that because there might be some Cancers that are either really racist or just like really, really proud of where they come from in their culture and things like that. So understand the difference, but it all has to do with the familiarity thing. It's kind of like not really accepting other types of people and different, nationalities and ethnic groups and things like that. So it can make somebody quite racist, I will say. That Aries can be racist too. I'm gonna keep it real, because they're so about themselves and who's like themselves that they can't really deal with anything that's not like them. So yeah, it's just in a different kind of way. They are about unconditional love. most definitely. So a Cancer energy, like aspected well, that positive Cancer energy will denote unconditional love. Um, unconditional, unconditionally, I will love you. I don't even like Katy Perry, but that song is kind of all right, and it worked with Cancer, so we'll throw her a bone. They're very hospitable, like I said before. You know, Cancer is all about the family and inviting people into their home because they don't really like to go nowhere. So it's like, come to my house. You know what I'm saying? It's warm and cozy up in here. They can be very clingy. Like I mentioned earlier, it deals with race, culture, heritage, even like genealogy and things like that, your roots. So like the movie Roots and stuff like that, and that oral history that they were talking about in Roots, that's very, very Cancer because that's passing down stories, and like these oracles probably had strong Cancer energy because remember I said Cancers have really great memories and stuff like that, to be remembering from centuries and centuries ago, and the oral history been trickling down, and it didn't have the telephone effect, like it still was the same story each time because Cancers have impeccable memories. um, so like I mentioned before, it deals with the home, but it also deals with real estate, like buying a home and stuff like that. So people with Cancer energy may be may have a career in real estate, maybe selling homes, like fixing them up and things like that. Something that has to do with the home, refurbishing, remodeling homes, and something that has to deal with home and stuff like that. They also, are in like the food industry and, like I said before, hospitality industry, nursing, things of that nature. That's very Cancerian, like jobs, careers rather. They also can come off as kind of cheap. I will say that they are also a sign like Taurus is the money sign, but I would say like Cancer and Capricorn are also concerned about financial security. And Cancer is also concerned about emotional security as well. So Cancer don't like to be broke either. So don't come to them and don't have no money. They can be kind of self-absorbed. Um, like I said before, need financial and emotional security. They're the caretaker signs and things like that. So, the people who like get paid to take care of family members and stuff like that, that's very Cancer. They're very imaginative. So actually they do really well in like drama and like acting because they be in their emotions. So that actor comes out of them and stuff like that. So that's very Cancer. Um, this is a little tidbit that I picked up from one of the people that I'm learning astrology from. Men can be considered the pimps of the zodiac, or feel like they know everything about women. So yeah, because a Cancer man, because I talk a lot about women, because Cancer is a female energy. So if you're a man and you have Cancer energy, that means you're kind of in touch with your feminine side. You're in touch with the nature of women and kind of what they need. So a lot of the times, and this can be for good or for bad, men can kind of feel like, they know exactly what women want or whatever. And to the extreme, they could be pimps. But somebody that like is the Cancer that I picked up on, and I been looking up a lot of birthdays of like social media, people who are popular on social media and YouTube and things of that nature. It's this guy named Derek Jackson, and he does like relationship videos on YouTube and Instagram. He spells his last name Jaxson. And he's always talking about relationships, and he's a Cancer, because he's mentioned it before, and he's so Cancer when he talks, because everything is about empowering women. Everything is about like what he says about how men need to do right by these women and stuff like that. So he's kind of a positive example of kind of knowing what women want and stuff like that. And he's usually pretty much on point, so take a look at him. But men can also be kind of mama's boys too. Oh my God, they love their mama. Let me tell you, Cancer men, either they love their mama to death or they hate their mama. So that's that. And they love music. They love listening to music. Music is the soundtrack to their lives. They will talk about how this song back in 89, this was the jam. I remember when I first started third grade and I was listening to this song and I was like, hey. And I remember when I started high school and this was the jam. So yeah, Cancer's music is the soundtrack of their lives. So I have some additional stuff for Cancer. Their emotional nature on the dark side could kind of make them like commit like crimes of passion. Have you heard that term before? You know, watch the ID channel and things of that nature. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, think OJ Simpson, crimes of passion, and OJ Simpson is what? He's a Cancer. Yes, he is. Uh, so there you have that. In the words of Chris Rock, I'm not saying that he did it, but I understand. That's what I'm saying. Crime of passion. That's what Chris Rock said that in one of his stand-ups. And no, Chris Rock is not a Cancer. Um, I mentioned this earlier. They're the quintessential mother of the zodiac. Um, they're one of the wifey signs. So I mentioned that before, that Taurus, I believe Taurus, Cancer, and Virgo exhibit those like wifey type traits that a man who is from the Stone Age kind of wants their woman to do. The cooking, the cleaning, the kind of like, you know, housewife, stay at home mom type of thing, you know. Although Virgo, it'd be kind of difficult for them to be a stay at home mom because they like to work a lot, but they could still exhibit that wifey type material. Taurus can definitely sit back and collect the check. Don't get it twisted. And so can Cancer. That's why they're compatible. You understand where I'm going with this? All right. So they can get too emotionally attached in relationships. They're not really equipped for like one night stands and like casual sex. You know, they're the type of people, they have sex with you one time and they be like, I love you. And you be like, what? Do you really? And they might be like, serious, like, I love you. Yeah, so y'all need to start looking up people's charts before y'all go out on dates with them and like start full-fledged relationships with these people because you never know what you're gonna get. um they can often revert into, you know, their shell. Cancer energy is pretty like shy and reserved. You know, you're not going to they're not going to bust right out at you immediately unless there's other factors in their charts. So they're pretty much going to be into themselves unless they are in their element, and they're all about the right mood and the right energy. If they ain't in the mood for it, then they ain't about to do it. Don't force a Cancer to do stuff. They have to be in the mood. The candles need to be lit. It needs to be set right. Maybe they need to eat something because, you know, Cancer is a foodie. So like a Cancer really needs to like not be hungry because then they'll be irritable. Maybe they need to go to sleep because Cancers need their sleep. They need comfortability. Maybe they need a new pillow. Maybe maybe they need a new mattress or something like that. They need it might take a while sometimes, but if they're feeling it, then they'll be all about it. If they're not feeling it, then they're not going to do it. Just don't pressure a Cancer. Just don't. It'll just irritate them. I'm feeling in the mood for love. You know that song, Moody's Mood for Love, Mood for Love. Whenever they're in the mood. They can have like this mirror effect thing. Like things can have a boomerang effect, kind of like deja vu. So it's kind of like with Gemini, like in the twins and like seeing double in a way. But with Cancer, it's like reflective. So they can, like, when it comes to like dating and partners, meet somebody that's similar to another partner that they have in an eerie, like weird kind of way because they're very like reflective and things like that. They're very private and protective of their feelings and their loved ones, like I mentioned. And family will either be of the utmost importance for a Cancer, or that's where they have the biggest problems in their life with their family, or particularly the mother, because Cancer rules the mother, the moon rules the mother, and all of that stuff. And they love the idea of being a stay-at-home mom or dad. Dad could be like, they love family, they love the kids. Cancer love the kids, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's like they just love that like atmosphere, like Cancer energy. Like if they didn't really have to work, then they like wouldn't. But they want financial security though, so they will work if they have to. Don't get it twisted. But ultimately, if a Cancer, especially a woman, if she could be a stay-at-home mom and take care of the kids, and the man bringing home the bacon and the money, then a Cancer could be just fine. Like a Cancer actually is very simple in the things that they want. People just, you know, may kind of emotionally set them off. But all in all, you know, I feel like I kind of went easy on y'all cancers a little bit, but y'all can definitely be quite destructive and let your emotions, like when you get mad, your emotions, you can go red like completely and just like blackout, like for real. It's really ridiculous. And I go back to that crimes of passion thing. So let me get into some celebrities. I mentioned some celebrities already, but I'm gonna mention some other ones. Tia and Tamara Mori, they're both cancers. Obviously, they're twins. Duh. Kevin Hart, Wendy Williams, O.J. Simpson, Solange, Lil Kim, Phyllis Hyman, Missy Elliott, and Lonnie Love. So I wanted to give a little tidbit on those Cancer sons, those celebrities that are Cancer sons. So hope you enjoyed my video on Cancer. I feel like it was more toned down in terms of like my volume just because it's like nighttime and Cancer, and y'all might have some hot cocoa. Probably not because it's summertime, not hot cocoa, but maybe you drinking a nice little drink. Hey, that's what I'm about to do. And I will see you guys next time in the video where I talk about Leo, honey. Yes. But until next time, see you guys later. Bye.